Hello and
Hello,
welcome.
and yes, welcome to episode 4 of Build on Open Source, the show that takes you through the latest open source projects and AWS news. Welcome wherever you are. My name is Ricardo, and I'm joined by my lovely host, Derek. Hello.
Oh, lovely. I love the way you call me lovely, Rick.
You are lovely.
Yeah.
You are lovely in all sense of the
Thank
word.
you. You are too kind, sir. You are too kind. I see
I
you're
know.
not at your usual place today. You're, is it a
Yes.
hotel room?
It is a hotel room. I'm supposed to be at a wedding today, so I wasn't going to let a wedding stand in the way of Build on Open
No.
Source. So I'm actually, funny enough, this came up in the conversation last night. So everyone's really fascinated about streaming and live streaming and open source. So yesterday I had literally a group of people saying, "You do what?" you do, So it was quite interesting. So yeah, so good
Well,
stuff.
I'm glad they understood because when I talk to people about what I do, they're like, yes.
Mm.
Next, I see
There was a
John's
few of
here.
those.
Let's say
There was
hi
a
to
few of those.
John. John's on
Yeah.
on the line
Hello,
from last
John.
week. John, he came back. So John was our
He
guest
did.
last time, and he's come back for more. Thanks, John.
Good stuff.
Good to
Good
see you
stuff.
again. Okay, so Rick, what have we got on the show for this week?
We got a great show as always. So we're going to start off this week with the roundup. We're going to talk through last week's open source newsletter and the one that's going to be published on Monday. We've got some projects we want to talk about. Then we're going to transition into our special guests this week, Sir Ravan Devanash, who are going to from Bagisto, who are going to be talking about their open source project, which is a PHP-based headless e-commerce project called Bagisto. So if you're doing any kind of online commerce, and you love open source, and this definitely is a project you need to be aware of. So then we got them. They're going to be talking about kind of the origin story of the project, and then walking us through a quick demo.
No cheating indeed, John. Yes, thanks, Rick. That's a good summary of today. And Laravel is what Bagisto is based on as well. So
Indeed.
lots of PHP goodness ahead.
Indeed.
But first, shall we jump into this week's news?
I think we should. I think it's rude not to.
Let's do it. Okay, so news. We're going to start a little bit different with a poll this week. So welcome to people who have seen the show before. If you have not seen the show before, this poll is going to be interesting. So we want to know what your favorite part of the show is. So it's obviously I'm going to put down news, and you'll see that this is a real-time poll. So we want to hear from you. What's your favorite part of the show? Is it news, guests? Do you like us talking to guests? Do you like the code demos that we showed during the news, or do you like the pineapple on pizza question? So we'll get back to that poll, please.
So Derek, can I ask a question?
Yeah,
how do people access the poll?
Well, it's simple. In the Twitch chat, you put in the number against the answer. So I've put in 1 for news, and you see the blue bar is there. So don't be shy. Put your numbers in. Oh, we've got some pineapple and pizza.
that might have been me. That might have been me.
So yeah, bring your answers, and we'll jump back to that in a minute. So let's jump into my part of the news this week.
Yes, I was going to ask you, Derek. What projects are you going to talk about?
Well, first of all, I've got to change over my screen share. So there's 2 projects. 2 projects this week.
And this is from last week's newsletter, right? So this is from episode 150, which is quite a milestone episode. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years now, and I can't even believe that we've managed to get up to 150 episodes, right? So yeah. And we have some cracking projects, and I actually, one of the ones that I think are going to talk about are the ones that I also in the back of my mind we're going to talk about.
Okay, I stole it from you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure you'll do a much better job than me. So
no.
So Derek, talk us through it.
Here we are. So this is 150. So last week's newsletter. So there's 2. If you haven't seen it already, you can check it out. Dev 2. We'll put the links in the chat. So the 2 projects we're going to pull out from this. There's a lot more than 2. Because if you don't know, Ricardo writes this every week. Which is an amazing thing. But the first one I'm going to pull out today is a project called Balcony. Here it is here. So Balcony is written in Python. And what it does, it allows you to look through AWS resources. So we all know that the CLI is king, right? So we like our console. We want to avoid websites. We want to avoid anything visual. We want that CLI goodness. So
Indeed.
what Balcony does, it allows us to bring that CLI goodness to list all of the AWS resources we have in an account. And so all you have to do is install it, which I've done, and now I have to switch again.
So while you're doing that, Derek, I'm going to share my story because I tried this, right, and I tried one of the examples, okay, and then I panicked because I thought it actually executed the command, but it doesn't. It just shows you the command for which you can then run, right? And that's the thing that I panicked because basically I'd done a delete operation, and I suddenly thought that all my roles had been deleted. It hadn't. It actually just showed me the command. If I wanted to delete those roles, then this is what I would do. And so I did panic for a second, right? But then I realized, okay, it's just showing me this thing, right? It's not actually doing it for me.
Yep. So that is, I must admit, Rick, that's further than I took Balcony. I was
Okay.
I was mesmerized the fact it could look through my entire account topology and bring me back everything. Which I find really handy because I've been building this IoT backend, so it's across a number of regions. And I'm like, how many IoT backends have I got? So I've been using this to work that out.
Okay.
So here it is. So it's again. If you've watched the show before, we love our ASCII art. This is more of a condensed ASCII art, but it's still very pretty.
It's very beautiful, actually. It looks very clean and nice.
I like the pastel. These are pastel.
Yeah. Yes. I like the gently rounded corners.
Yes. Oh, we could go on.
We could.
The options, the insert of the options around the border. Very nice. So this is the help screen. So it's really, really easy. I'll show you one example that I ran. Yes, I prepared earlier. Where it lists the EC2's subnets. Which I want to know how many subnets I've got in my EC2, which it could be thousands, could be many. So what's it getting to do?
So I'm very useful.
Yes, exactly. So my -s will actually output it as JSON. So if I hit that, it'll log into my account, and it will pull down all the subnets, and it will tell me all about them.
Beautiful.
Cider blocks, all of that. And because it's beautiful, you can go next. No. And so I can actually scroll down there and pick out all my subnets and
lovely.
Like so
and of course, I'm assuming that. And I'm assuming you can use JQ then to kind of like parse it down and use, that to interact with it. So, yes, this is lovely. We love Balcony.
If you love jQuery.
Exactly. Exactly. And actually, I want to give a hat tip. So I included it in last week's newsletter because of a shout out from Corey Quinn in his weekly newsletter. He featured it in his newsletter. So I shared it in this one. So thank you, Corey, for raising that visibility. Yeah, it's a good. And if you haven't signed up to Corey Quinn's newsletter, then please do, because it always has really interesting things in there. So
nice. So that's number one. Balcony. Okay. I love the name as well.
It is a great name, isn't it?
You just want to stand there and gaze out.
and look at that beautiful ASCII art.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
So what's the second one then? Tell us the second one.
Yes. So the second one is the theme. So we've had a theme recently of security. So the next one is very much in that theme of security. So what it's called is here. So you can see it. Yeah. So we've got Visualize IAM Access Analyzer Policy Validation Findings. Okay.
It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It just rolls off the tongue.
It does. Systems manager system. This is, so what does it do, Derek? What does it do?
What does it do?
What does it do? So we think about security. One of the things we have to consider is the principle of least privilege. So provisioning our services, so only the other services that need to talk to it have access. And obviously, we've talked about this in previous shows as well. Obviously, that can get tricky, fiddly, and you don't know probably what your current account has. So there's no way to check it. So Access Analyzer actually does that. it analyzes your account and says, well, you haven't got least privilege between these two services, or you need more here. And so that's nice, but it's not very visual. It's actually just a report. So what this is and it's and let me jump into this. The GitHub.
Have you actually spun it up? Have you? Have you actually got it up and running?
No.
Okay.
I do apologize. So it's an AWS samples, and it creates a dashboard, so you can see the findings visually. So I don't know about you, Rick, but I'm very visual, and so this is great. So all the install instructions are there in the repo.
The repo.
Also, there is a nice little blog on the AWS blog on how to install it, explain all about least privilege, and it's a very nice blog written by Mustafa and Tobias. So that's well worth checking out as well, because security should be top of mind, and so this is a nice little open source tool to help you and improve or be better at security. So that is my two.
Yes,
for this week.
I like those.
What do you think?
I approve.
Have I done well? Have I done well?
I did. I approve of your choices.
Well, thank you. Let's see how we're going with our poll before you jump into yours.
Yes. Come on. So just a reminder, if you're on live, then the way that you interact with the poll is just type in the number. So just type in the number in the chat, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and register your vote. So do that whilst we're talking. So Derek, do you want to share my screen then?
We got news and pineapple. Is nobody like the guests or code and demos? Come on.
We want more for guests. We want more for guests.
Oh yes, we got one. We got one for code and demos. Yes. Come on. Okay, now let me remove that. You can still vote. Keep voting.
Keep voting. So Derek,
this one.
Bring my screen in. So this is the one that I'm currently working on, 151, and there are some cool projects. I want to talk about 2 projects and 1 blog post. So the first project is a project that we have actually featured in this newsletter, and actually I think on a previous episode of Build On, Mr. Ian McKay.
I think Ian was episode 1.
He might have been episode 1. He might have been
episode 2, the first one with guests. Episode 1, we didn't have any guests. We just
that's right. We winged it.
We had him in episode 2, and we had him at reInvent. Yep.
We did indeed. I remember you talking to him. So he had a project called Forma 2, and Forma 2 is a really awesome project that basically allows you to reverse engineer effectively your infrastructure and create CloudFormation templates from it through a nice GUI tool. And he provides a hosted version of this, but you can also run it yourself. And so what this project is, someone has actually created effectively a way to host this on EC2. Now, actually, I have. So I started this morning. I was hoping it would be finished, right? So you can see I'm actually currently deploying this at the moment. I was hoping it would be finished, but it hasn't finished. So unfortunately, it hasn't finished. But what it does, what I like, is it brings up an EC2 instance. And effectively creates a virtual desktop, so it allows you to actually run this through a local ngrok type proxy so you can actually use this in a much more safe environment. And actually, if you read through the project repo, that's actually the kind of the reason why this has been put together again. And what I like as well is they give a good shout out to the previous blog posts that we feature on this, and obviously to the fact that this project is Ian's as well. So a nice attribution there, which we love.
Ian's one of many. John's just pointed out that he used I Am Live 20 minutes ago, which is another one of Ian McKay's projects. He's prolific.
He is indeed. So yes, absolutely. So I think that's definitely, if you're looking at projects. I guess it's kind of like on a simplification perspective. No more worrying about having to do that from scratch. Use Forma 2 and away you go. And this makes it easier for you to do that. So that's the first project, Derek. The second project I'm going to talk about is something a little bit funky, if I can find it. is this one here, Jenkins Unity build on AWS.
Oh.
Now,
So,
what I
let me guess.
liked about this,
Build the Unity engine using Jenkins and deploy it on AWS. Am I right?
you are almost on the money. How did you guess?
It's descriptive naming standards.
Indeed. So for people who are doing game development, or in fact, not just that game development, Unity is actually used beyond gaming. So if you're using this as a tool and you want to create effectively Unity deployable artifacts, then whether it's on Windows, Linux, or even Mac, how you incorporate all those those distributions within your build pipeline is important. So this one actually builds Linux and Mac instances. So this is really cool because it actually provisions Mac instances, so you can actually deploy native Mac, although Intel only at the moment, not the M2 or M1 Mac instances. Yeah. So, but if you are finding yourself in a situation where you're creating a pipeline that requires A, the use of Unity, and B, the need to compile to these destinations, then it's a really, really well put together solution. It's very customizable. So what they've done through the documentation in the project, they talk through different scenarios and then say, if you want to do this, then these are the options you need to change in the project. So I always talk about the 4 freedoms of open source, freedom to study, freedom to modify, and freedom to run. 3 key ones that play here, because you can run it as it is, you can modify it to your needs, and you can change it so that it works better for you, right? So I think that this is a really great one if you're needing to have some kind of complicated automated build system for your Unity builds. So I thought it was very, very nice.
I think you do by default. Every Unity build system must be complex.
I'm not really that familiar with Unity, other than the fact that I'm one of these people that once a year I go onto Udemy and I buy the course $9.99. Start Unity development, and I'm 1st of January. I do a day. I do section 1, and then I never come back. Right. So actually, if you're watching and you're on the commit, do you do that? Do you at Christmas think it's a great idea? I'm going to buy a Udemy course because they're on sale, and you buy it and then you never come. It's like domain names, right? I have as many Udemy unused training courses as I have domain names, I think. So,
we should have a poll. How many unfinished Udemy courses have you got?
Yeah, I think I've got about 8 at the moment, which is not good, right? So the last thing I want to talk about before we transition.
There's more. Hold on. Yeah,
there's more. This isn't a project. Well, it actually is a project, but it's actually a blog post, right? That actually talks about a project. So we kind of made more of a noise of it this week. So we've got this repository called Data on EKS. And it's effectively a bunch of blueprints that allow you to effectively deploy all these open source analytics and data solutions on Kubernetes, right? And I actually put together a blog post. So actually, I do kind of talk about it here. So I put together this blog post using this project to deploy a self-managed Apache Airflow, right? So I put my experiences here, and it works really, really well. Okay, and there are loads of really cool open source projects there. And so if you are one of these people that need to run your own version of an open source data analytics tool because the self-managed one doesn't quite fit your needs, check this project out because it will make your life so much easier. And the project, I think, is currently on V5 at the moment, and they're kind of iterating and improving. So, it's an open source project. So if you're interested, check it out. If you want an open source project that's not there, raise an issue and ask for it there, and sort of take part, because I think it's a really, really good project. So I just wanted to give that a shout out because it's definitely worth more people knowing about this. So that's my 2 projects and my blog post that I want to talk about today, Derek.
Technically 3. You cheated.
Did I cheat? Well, okay, all right, yeah. Okay. But there's so much goodness out there that I just wanted to make sure that we covered them all. So we got some more votes.
So we got some more votes for Paul. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. Build on open source. That is the name of the show. So we're trying to get it. What's your favorite part of the show? Is it the news? Put in 1. Guests, 2. Code and demos. Pineapples on pizza. If you've seen the show before, you'll know what that is. Exactly. Just put your answer in the chat, the number of your desire. Can I cheat again because I really love number 4 because I love pineapples on pizza.
Do
And we'll
you?
get an update at the end of the show because we're now 4 each, pineapples on pizza and news. So I've now cancelled out my vote. Oh, and we've got some guests coming in. Coming on next.
So what do we have next then, Derek?
So next, we actually have our guests. So shall we transition to our guests?
I think we should.
Let's go. May the force be with me. Yes.
Hello. Welcome, Saurav and Devinash, guests of the week.
Hello.
So Devinash and Saurav, do you want to introduce yourselves? Starting with you, Saurav.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Ricardo, Derek, and everyone. A very good afternoon to you all from India. So my name is Saurav Pathak, and I'm currently a VP of product at Bagisto. Apart from that, I'm a passionate developer and open source enthusiast, and I'm currently focused on building the very first open source success story from India in e-commerce domain, and that is Bagisto.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Cool. Thank you for that, Saurav. And Devinash, tell us about yourself.
My name is Devansh, and I'm a full-time software developer in a webcool. And apart from this, I'm an open source maintainer in a Bagisto and Crane, which is on top of Laravel.
Oh, cool. Nice. Very good. Cool. So Saurav, tell us more. Tell the viewers about what, you and Devinash are going to talk to us about today.
Sure. So today we are going to talk about Bagisto. It's an open source e-commerce platform that we built in Laravel. It's a complete bootstrap project that we launched 4 years back in 2018. Talking about facts, Bagisto has got more than 6,000 plus GitHub star, 75,000 plus downloads. We have built community of 5,000 plus members, and right now 25,000 plus merchants are using Bagisto online for their e-commerce shop. And
really, wow, that's impressive.
There's one more fact is that out of 25,000 merchants, since I'm dealing with customers and products, I can fairly say that 70% of those merchants are running their e-commerce shop on AWS.
Yes, we like that. Well, so this is super interesting. So I've got to ask the questions, Saurav. Okay, so we talk about open source projects scratching the itch or filling the need. Okay, so what is what's the problem that you were trying to solve when you originally launched the project?
Okay, I think the basic problem that we were looking to solve was bringing a platform-driven commerce system, which has a very small learning curve. So you see, there are many other e-commerce platforms available right now in the ecosystem. But the very basic issue with all those platforms is that there's a very long learning curve. So any developer who is looking to build their commerce platform, they first need to learn those tech stack, okay? And those tech stacks are already quite complex. And it took so much of time for a merchant and a developer to learn those tech stack and start building commerce. So what we decided that we are going to make a platform which is going to come from the very basic MVC architecture model. So if any graduates or any college going students or any a newbie developer who has a basic understanding of MVC architecture like Laravel or Symfony can just go ahead and start building their commerce shop. So this is the problem that we're going to solve, is bringing a platform-driven commerce with a less learning curve, and yes, also providing the Laravel e-commerce system and their developers the go-to e-commerce shop that they can use of. Laravel as of now is currently the most popular web framework, but for a very long time, there has been an absence of a good open source e-commerce shop. So we are looking to connect or build a bridge between the Laravel developers and the e-commerce system by bringing Bagisto in between both of them.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask actually because you deliberately decided that Laravel and PHP is what you want to develop. Okay, so obviously that was an intentional decision to do that rather than something more trendy like Node or Go or Rust or something like that, right?
I guess there's a very good PHP community around the world. People keep talking that PHP is dead every day, okay? But still, PHP is growing, right?
Keeps going.
Yeah.
So
in that respect, PHP is the new Java, right? Because I keep hearing that Java is dead, but it's not. It's very, very much alive. So PHP is very much alive, right?
Yeah, it's very much alive.
Yeah.
People can consider anything, but it's very much alive. And also, like if you like see in the world right now, like there are a good number of developers working on PHP and MySQL, right? Even like if you take the stat of like e-commerce shop, there are like more e-commerce shop built around WordPress and WooCommerce, and those are from PHP only, right?
Right.
So we
Yeah.
wanted to, we wanted to choose a framework that would be very much easygoing, and it should be
Yeah.
like most of the developers know about that, so it would be
Got
very
ya.
much easy for the developers around the
Yeah.
world to adopt
Smart
Bagisto
move.
and start working on that, right? So that's
Smart
the
move.
one thing. So what we are going to cover today, we are going to cover today some very important aspects of like any open source solution. The very first is that we are going to cover the installation. We are going to show you how easy it's to install Bagisto. And second thing is about customizing the framework. So Devansh is going to show how easy and very far in a very good way that how easily we can customize Bagisto or modify Bagisto with whatever be your requirement. So these are the basic two things that we are looking to cover in this particular podcast.
Very cool. Very cool.
That sounds good.
So,
That sounds awesome.
Shall we jump into the demo? Devanash,
So Devanash, you need to share your screen.
You need to share your
Yeah,
screen, and I
sure.
will present your screen.
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen.
So whilst we're doing that, so you're going to basically just to recap, Sarah, what you said. We're going to basically go from the start. We're going to show the repository. You're going to show us basically how to install it, and then show us how to customize it for people watching.
So, is my screen visible now?
Yeah, we can see it.
We're seeing it loud and clear.
So this is our repository. It is totally based on a Laravel e-commerce framework. If you check this source code, we are totally a Laravel based skeleton. And if you see our packages, we have segregated all the packages into individual modules. If you see this, we have separated all the packages like admin one, attributes one, all the packages we have segregated here. So we are following proper coding standards as per the Laravel. And also apart from this, if you check the requirement here is the requirement is you for the latest version, you should be having a 8.1 PHP versions and all the required mentions like PHP internationalization, PHP DD, all the necessary extensions you need to install. For the database part, you need to have a MySQL 8.0 version. Also 5.7.34 also work, whatever MySQL version which having a JSON support actually. So
right, okay.
Let's start.
So Devanash, before we begin, so just for people watching, okay, so this is the actual repository, the code repository. But before you begin, you need something like an AWS EC2 compute instance, and you need a MySQL database before you can start installation, right? So that's if you want to install this, folks watching, that's what you need. You need something like an EC2 instance. And then you need a MySQL data. So does it work with something like RDS, for example, RDS MySQL, or do you have to run your own MySQL instance?
No, you have to run your MySQL instance and an EC2 instance as well. So this will work here.
Okay.
So
you
if I show you that,
you could potentially run it on Lightsail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a good idea.
Potentially run it in Lightsail if you wanted, or maybe even Elastic.
Yeah, because Lightsail is a very popular one for WordPress, right? So if you're saying that you're trying to help people move from WordPress commerce to this, right, then that might be a good move, right? So Lightsail. So I'm not sure if you, Devanash, sorry if you're familiar with Lightsail, but basically it's like a VPS type solution, virtual private server solution, that's very economical for customers to use.
Okay, so for that, right now, if I start with the installation part. From the here. So if you see, we can clone it from the here. If you want to clone it, so you can clone it from the here. For to reduce that portion, I have already cloned it in my repository, in my source code. For that, when you see the screen here, you will see a screen like this after you clone it. So here, if you see, here is our GUI installer. So here it will show all the dependency which you need to be done. Like this tick mark that this is already necessary, already done.
So Devanash, can I ask a question? Sorry, just a quick question. So what you've done is you've cloned the repo and you've put it in the web. You put it into the web server's home directory. Is that right? Is that what you've done?
Root directory.
Root directory.
Directory. Yeah. So in
the root directory, and the web server. And so did you mention before you need an Apache web server or an Nginx web server with PHP? Is that right?
Both. Both. If you need you can do it with the Apache server as well or with the Nginx also. So
Okay.
both are working. So when you run this on the document root, when you have set up, so you will see some screen something like this. So here, if you see, we have not installed a composer dependency, and for the Laravel project, you need to have a composer dependency so that all the dependencies get loaded up. So if you see here, it is already said that Bagisto has detected the required composer package are not installed. So for that, you need to install the composer dependency. For that, let me open up my terminal and let me check it here. So for I'm assuming that you are having a requirement like PHP 8.0. Right now I am having a Docker instance, so I am in my Docker instance. So right now I am having all the dependencies. That's why I am seeing this screen here. So if you having that portion, you need to fulfill that requirement first. So right now I am just doing a composer install command from here. This will install all the dependency for the composer part.
Okay.
There was
So
a
all
quick
the
question from
dependencies,
the. Well, that's
yeah,
running. Sorry, Dominic. There was a quick question from the chat.
yeah.
About from cybersecurity course asking, is there any containerized versions available now? I assume it's containerized out of the
Yeah,
box.
we have a
Yeah.
containerized. Yeah, we have a containerized version. Let me show you. If you see, we have a Bagisto Docker instance here. So this is we are having a containerized version. You can
Oh,
install
cool.
this repository. So you can use this branch also. We are regularly maintaining this part also. So you can use the containerized version also here.
Excellent. Thanks for answering that.
So
Thanks.
okay, so let me refresh the screen right now. So if you see, we having a server requirements and all the requirements are have been fulfilled. So if I press on the continue button, here all are the necessary details like when a Laravel installed. So we are placing all the files like in the e.env. So this is all the requirement which we are fulfilling from the GUI end. So right now I'm taking as a default one, and let's press a continue button here. So if I press continue button, here is the database which you need to set up here. For right now, my database is a Docker instance. For Docker instance, I need to give my image name here. So you can put it as a local host or your IP which you want to give it. Right now, I'm giving a Bagisto MySQL for my part. So if I do Bagisto MySQL here, sorry, that not that one here. So this is my host name right now. For the database name, I am putting Bagisto, and I already created a database in my MySQL instance. So right now I am giving a username and password. So if your connection is successful, you are able to see the next screen. Otherwise, it will prompt here that your connection is not satisfied. So if I click on the save and continue button, here it will show the installation procedure. So you just need to click on the start installation button and rest it will be do it for you. So I'm
Okay.
pressing the
That's
start
nice and simple.
installation.
Very.
Yeah, nice and simple. So
That's
I
very nice
just
and simple.
click on
Although
the
a reminder, folks, don't use root when you log when you as your connection to your database. Use a different alternative account number.
yeah,
But
This is
other
just a
than
demo.
this is
Just
just
a
a demo,
demo.
right? This is just a demo. So
yeah,
don't use root. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I understand that. For that part, now I'm clicking on the start installation procedure, and here installation will get started. Till then, installation it will be done in a minute and a few minutes. So it will load it up all the migrations, and it will running all the migrations and the seeders, and then your project will get ready here. So it will
Right.
running in the all the migrations in the background. So after
Cool.
that, you will see like this populating database. Now it is doing a seeder part. So right
Yeah.
now it is doing a seeding for the database. If you see, we have a installation done properly. So if I do a continue button here, here you will see a next portion which is called as a create a administrator. So if you want to create an administrator, this will override the default administrator, and our default administrator is the admin one. If you want to fill up this detail, this is optional. Rest it is already done. If you put up here localhost, if you done here, you will get a screen like this. So here
Done.
is a Bagisto shop. Full
Nice.
Wow, that
Bagisto
was
shop
quick.
has been
Very
ready.
fast.
Yeah. So it is full Bagisto shop already ready. So if I show you admin panel here, so you will see I'm having a default credentials admin@example.com and admin123. So here is the full dashboard already set up for
So
you in a minute.
So,
For the
Ganesh,
same.
when you finished the installation and you went to localhost, it looks like there's already a lot of stuff in there. So, does it install like a demo shop for you effectively? Is that what it installs?
It is already installed. Not getting.
So when you go when, on the previous screen when you went to the homepage, you saw some
Yeah.
items, some pictures of items for sale. This
Yeah.
so
This one.
all this stuff here. Okay, is this part of the demo app? Because obviously we've not done anything right. This is just post installation. So where's all that stuff come from?
This one.
Yeah.
This one we have already defined in our seeder file, and all the images we have predefined setup for the structure. So when you install this part, you will automatically get all this stuff at
Right.
the
Okay.
start of the screen. So
Got ya.
that developer no need to do anything more else. So he can do a customization part. For all this part, we already seeded this portion here.
Okay, got you. Is it possible to do like a completely empty install where it doesn't install any of that? So you like have an empty store. Is it possible to do that?
Right now, his store is already totally empty. We don't have any products right now. It is totally empty. This is just a banner. If you want to do this, you need right now it is not possible. You just
Okay.
need to set up from the admin panel. You need to adjust all the things for regarding that.
Okay, right. So basically, what you're seeing here is just some sample banners.
Yeah.
It's not actually okay, right? Okay, but you can't change.
Okay.
This is like you always get this when you install it. You install it.
Let me show you something cool thing. Well, there is something which we have done also. So like Derek said, CLI is a king. So we have a CLI feature also. We have a CLI
Good.
feature also. Like we
Nice.
are doing so for that, if you are properly set up your env file, we have a command line here, in which we just need to run php artisan bagisto install. Same
Okay.
like command, and here it will done all the things.
Oh, this is much
Same like.
nicer.
So
We
it
like
is
this.
doing in a command line, and it will properly seed your data as well. So it is the
Yeah.
same thing, which
Got
is
ya.
doing
Got
by
ya.
a GUI. So developer actually loves a command line feature, so they can do it in a command line also. Here.
Okay. So
Question.
Devinash, we've got a question from Valerian Steel.
Valerian steel. It's a
Valerian
very
steel. Oh,
specific
Valerian steel.
type of steel.
Yeah.
Rick.
Is which hang on, Valerian Steel, is that the one that's unbreakable?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, is it? Oh, that's right. That's the
Yeah.
one. I knew I recognized it from somewhere. So so the question is, can you all the assets we've got here, okay, we assume they're being served from some static folder. Can you specify another alternate folder like an S3 bucket?
For the S3 bucket, we have a Laravel based provider. For example, let me show you via code also. For example, if you see config file, if you see in a config file, Laravel is having a S3 support. So you just need to configure the S3 provider and provide your URL. All the images will be went to the S3 part. So then it will come up from the S3 part. So we have segregated the provider. So if you check this part, there is a storage config file in this part. Let me show you where. So here is the provider for the database, and the storage part also here. It is not visible here. File system, sorry. So if you see this thing here, you just need to set up all the things. Like here is a cloud stream S3. So you just need to set up all the thing here, and your all images will get uploaded to the S3 part also.
Got you. So basically, so just to answer Valerian Steel, yes, I guess is the answer. You can use S3 for your images.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So
okay, so you've shown us installation through GUI, which was nice. You've shown us installation with the CLI, which is even nicer, and we've now got our brand new e-commerce site, right? So what are we going to sell?
Yeah.
There's 4 of us here. We've got to sell something, right? So what are we going to sell?
The dream.
So you're gonna sell every type of a product. You can sell, like, if you want to sell normal products, clothes product. Even we have a virtual product support also. Even we have a downloadable product support also. If you check here, if the product section, you will see. Let me show you here. 1, 2, 3. So if you see here, we have a all product type support. So you can add it from the here. Like we have a simple product, virtual product, group product, even a downloadable product, or even you can
Oh
install a booking
wow.
product as
Okay.
well. So it is
Okay.
as per your need, as per a developer, what he want to do here. So if he want to do something with a downloadable part, he can make a scratch file, scratch part for folder for downloadable part. If you want to do a virtual part, he can make a virtual product like this thing.
Got ya.
So all the thing has been done as per developer. So it is seamlessly.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah. Yeah.
if someone is testing on a development end, we have created a cool command. Let me show you one thing or more also. If we create here PHP artisan Bagisto, and we can do is fake. So this is a command. This will generate an automatic product. Here it will ask you how much, which type of product you want to create. For example, if I want to create a simple product here, so if I click number 4, and it will ask you how many count. So you can create a dummy product for testing also. So on the go, you have a
Oh.
200 products also.
Wow.
So if you
So
see
basically,
here,
so effectively, what you've done is you've effectively created all these dummy products,
yeah,
which we can then. Oh, okay,
yeah.
that's really neat.
For
Oh,
better development, for a better smoothness, you can create a 200 products, 300 products, whichever you need. We have a pretty much cool commands also. So this command is I like the most. I mostly use most of the time in my development, so that at least I am having a base structure. So all the products right now you are seeing. Let me show you something like here. If I show you in the front end, it will come up in the front end as well. So within a minute, you having all the products here.
oh,
So if
yeah.
I click on the search button for this thing, you having a products like this.
Wow,
Nice,
that's
nice.
that's really neat.
So so if you want
Can
to create a
I?
different type of product also, you can create as per your need. We have given us several commands. You just if you need simple dummy product, you need a simple virtual products. If you need a downloadable products, that's it's up to you.
Yeah.
Devinish, can I just
Yeah.
compliment you on the strike of your keyboard? You hit it really hard. I thought I hit my keyboard hard. You win the keyboard
You are the
smash
champion.
sticks.
You are,
Yeah.
you are the champion. So I
Yeah.
tell you what, I mean, what you've shown so far is amazing. In fact, you know, I'm feeling
cool.
the urge to set up an e-commerce site now,
Yes.
right? I don't know. I want to sell something, and the fact that I can do virtual and downloadable things, I'm thinking, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to set myself up a virtual downloadable site to do something. I'm not sure what yet, but it literally you've only been showing us for the last 15 minutes, and we've already got something up and running, right? That's pretty impressive. So I have a question. For
Valerian
Sorry,
Steele's on point with questions. So as it's based on Laravel, can it use the same packages, or community need to create the packages from scratch?
You can if we it is depend what's your requirement actually is. If you want to add your custom package, you can add that custom package also. Otherwise, we have a very good package here. I can show you. It is a Bagisto package generator. We already created for a community, so they just need to just install it in your in your repository, and all the base structure of the package will come up with you. So if you want to create a custom packages, you can use this one. If you want to do a manually, you can use a Laravel package development, because it is totally based on Laravel. So we are strictly following all the Laravel standards. So it is as per their need what they want to do actually.
And even like I also want to add here, like there are a lot of packages we have already added in Bagisto right now. So if you just go on Bagisto website, there's a page of extension. There are more than 150 plus packages that we have created for Bagisto, and those are all relevant to e-commerce section. So there are payment gateways, there are shipping solution, there are marketplace, multi-tenant, point of sale. There are so many solutions available,
oh
right?
wow,
So if you are looking for certain packages, do go and check out the Bagisto extension. And obviously, next part is which is going to come, where Devansh will show you that how you can create a simple package and add something on Bagisto. That's the
yeah. So Sarah, can I ask a question? with the many people that are currently using Bagisto, okay, and the different types of commerce that you have there, do you have like one that's the dominant one, or do you have them spread across all those different types of commerce sites, like virtual, downloadable, physical, that kind of thing? I'm kind of interested in that. Are you seeing a pattern that most people are using Bagisto for real kind of physical e-commerce versus downloadable virtual, or is it just like all over?
I guess most people are trying to use it for like a simple and configure product. Okay, and no, see it varies to customer to customer, right? Suppose if you are trying to sell coupons like Netflix kind of a coupon, you want to give subscription, right? You may want to choose, you want to go with the subscription kind of a product, right? And so it actually varies to customer to customer. Exactly, I cannot tell you the percentage of that, how many percentage of people are choosing on what type of product.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of e-commerce that is going around the world, most of them are trying to sell the tangible items, you can say. Okay.
Right.
So they are trying to use the group products, the bundle products, simple and configurable one. So these are the four types which you will find the majority in the current e-commerce sector.
Cool. Thanks for that. Cool.
Alrighty. What's next, Devanash?
So next part is, let me show you what we are trying to do here. So this is a created portion. So if you see this shop, we having a add to cart button here. If you see, so I have just make a small customization there so that we are able to change the cart button color from the backend. And here just need to add the code. Let me show you the admin panel as well. So here, if you see, we have this a custom package here. So from here, if I click on the black color, if I save there, so in the front, we are getting just a small customization. We are getting all the card button to black color. So just a simple customization for the other developers so that they can see how easy to customize the Bagisto as well. So this is a created one. So now I am showing in the scratch one part also. If you see this thing, this part, this can be done in a minute with the help of Bagisto package generator, which you are seeing here. I will showcase you how to create all the dummy packages here. So let me show you one thing. So this one is the dummy one. Let me close this part. So now, if you see, we have created 200 products right now. So let me edit something, and let me create a save product. So at least we have a product in the front. So if I refresh here, I'm having a two product. So we are creating a package to change the color of this button also. So right now, I just need to do it. I just need to require the dependency from here. So just need to install it here and enter, and this will install the Bagisto package generator. Right now, if I show you Bagisto package generator here, it will show you what are the commands you can able to run. For example, if you see, there are list of commands like package make controller, package make admin route, package make shop controller. All the packages, all the related commands are here. So for creating the packages, for example, if you are a developer, if you are doing a package development like this thing, admin, you need to, then you, what you do, you just, if you want to create a customization package, then you just copy pasting like this, like copy this thing and then again creating, then you are auto loading something. And to reduce that part, we have created this package. So right now, let me showcase you. So let's say I want to create a package here. If I create a new package, I just need to copy this command from here and I just need to paste it up here. So from here, I need to put my package in the webcool directory. So I'm just changing the ACME part to my webcool namespace. So if I press enter button here, if you see here, let me refresh it. There is a test package directory. Automatically, full package has been created here, which having all the Laravel package development type thing here, like config part, console part, contract, just a dummy structure, database, events, HTTP folder, controllers, automatically created a full structure for you. So we are loading the test package now. So for that, we just need to auto load this directory. For that, I just need to do is I just need to go to the composer.json file and just need to autoload this directly so that our classes get autoloaded up. So I'm just autoloading this part. Where is this package? So I'm doing a autoloading part. So after that, you just need to do composer dump autoload. So this will register all your classes. Now, if we want to run this package, we just need to tell Laravel that register my provider, because every package has a heart. In Laravel, you need to have a provider registry, because Laravel in the backend run through all the providers, list of providers, and they are running. So for that, I need to register this provider first, because if this provider is not registered, then it will not run. So for that, we need to just register this provider in the config app directory. From here, I just need to register the provider here. Test package, service provider, and class. For that, if I now check, you will see some error. I will show you something here. The reason behind this, that when we are doing an installation part, there we are already cached all the configs right now. So to clear the configs, we just need to run one command that is called optimize clear. Here, if you see, if we done a refresh button, and it will get loaded up, but right now you are seeing this empty images. So we just need to load our publishable assets as well. So if you check this thing here, I just need to do PHP artisan render publish and just need to give my provider number, which is test package provider. If I press 25 number button here, now if I refresh, you will see a dummy test package has been created. This is just a dummy test package. Already a base structure has been set up. So no need to done anything. Just you can continue further on development on the package part.
Got you.
From this part.
So then, can I ask a question? What sort of things would you, because obviously everything you showed so far looks like very much configuration, right? So what are the sort of things where you would typically need to create your own package?
Basically, if we want a manual package created, you just need to start from the provider first. If you just because provider is the base, so you just need to start from the provider first. Just register your provider, and then step by step you can enter your requirement as per your need. For example, if I'm creating a test package here, let me show you.
Sorry, Danesh. So what I mean is that, what's the specific use case? So, why as a developer would I need to actually create one, right? So I understand what you showed me is the how to do it.
Yeah.
But what's the why? Why would I typically need to do this?
It is actually a separation of concern. There is a concept which is called as a separation of concern. For example, if you are doing a several code, if you are doing your some work. So for example, if you want to segregate your portion, you are segregating all your responsibilities, all your classes into a segregated portion. So mainly if I am a developer, if I am doing a development, so I'm separation of concern is my really important concept for me. So I just look at into that portion first right now. If I want to, that this is a normal technical term like separation of concern or something like this. If we want to create something like if I want to create a multi-vendor marketplace, so it will be good for me to separate all my logic into a segregated package actually. So this is all meant to be.
So effectively, so all the packages you currently have in Bagisto effectively are a collection of all these packages together, which are then basically wired together to give you the experience that we see, right?
Yeah.
So Ricardo, there's one more thing I would like to add on top of that for your question, that why people need to create a separate package, right? So we usually advise people or recommend people that whenever you're customizing Bagisto, don't customize the core Bagisto files, okay? Instead, create a
Yeah,
separate
okay.
package, okay? The reason
Got
behind
ya.
is that suppose a new version come of Bagisto, so
Yes.
it would be easy
Yes.
to upgrade to newer version, right? So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you
Got
suppose
ya.
customize the core package, then it will give some error while updating the version, right? So we always tell
Yeah,
people
that's a great
that
one.
never customize the core files, just create a separate package. So when a new version come, you just need to update the package, and rest will be taken care by Bagisto.
Got you, yeah. And I guess because you're following Laravel package standards, then you don't have to worry about, version changes and all that kind of stuff, right? Because that's basically what everyone's based on, right? So that's your effective foundation. That's a great one. Thanks for
Yeah,
clarification, Sarav.
yeah.
So
So
we've got
this is a
5 minutes. We're coming up to the end of the
5
show,
minutes.
so we need to start wrapping up. So what are you gonna finish the demo then, Devanash?
demo will take at least some more time actually. Actually, it is actually a base structure, but we have created a separated package here. If we have a less time, I can show you some thing that if we show you this created version, here we have customized this part. So I can showcase you just a small change in the admin file so that it will get clarity from where you can do that. For example, this is a test package. If I click on this part, let me show you the sources part, views part, all the admin packages coming up here. So already created, we have created this thing. If you show here, if you see here, you are having all the content here. So this part is basically all the same, like we are creating our models, we are creating repository, all the parts are basically a concept as per the development purpose. If we have a 5 minute here, so I think it will get a little bit lengthier more.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
time, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
You got to wrap
So
up.
I guess I guess because we want to make sure that we've got enough time, Sarah and Devanash, to cover off call to action. So people watching, we've had a nice taste of Bagisto. We've shown them how to get
yeah.
started, install it. So Sarah and Devanash, what is the call to action? What if people are watching this either now or afterwards, what would you like them to do? Do you want them to kind of check your project out and give you feedback? Is there some specific things you're working on that you want to raise awareness of? Let us know.
Yeah, it's a good thing if they are giving us a feedback on that part. So if they are giving us a feedback, we can improve it more and more and more in our repository, and it's a good thing also.
So there's something I would like to add as a closing remark, that if you're looking to build a commerce shop and not looking to, if you're coming from a MVC architecture background, and if you have a knowledge of Laravel or any MVC architecture, you can totally take up Bagisto. It's like a very less learning curve solution. You can easily read the documentation. There's a good documentation guide for developers we have got online. The URL is devdocs, okay, devdocs.bagisto.com, something like that, okay. So you can just go through the documentation and you can easily start customizing Bagisto. And for packages, that's not the only one. We have got several templates, like you can create shipping package, you can create payment packages. I mean to say that the most common packages which people need for e-commerce, right? Themes, payment, shipping. Those packages we have already made. So you just need to go on the command and your package is ready. So yeah. So if you're looking to set up your e-commerce shop, having a good score on core web vitals, and having good features on SEO purpose, and the features as well, right? For getting an e-commerce shop online, Bagisto is the go-to choice for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Saurav and Devanash. It's been great having you on the show, and please reach out, to Bagisto project if you're interested in this project, and also if you're interested in doing e-commerce. Right, we've now shown you the best open source way of doing this. So let's wrap up, Derek. I think we've got the next week. Sorry, next episode, not next week.
Before we get there, Rick, quickly,
yes.
the results of the poll is guess on the favorite parts. So well done, guess.
Yeah.
You have won the poll. The audience has spoken. So nicely done.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
So no problem. So if you like this episode, then in 2 weeks' time we've got the 5th episode of this series where we're featuring Andrea from Leap. So this is an open source project. Again, we featured in the open source newsletter. It's a really cool tool if you're using and running multiple AWS accounts and EC instances. This is a nice tool that you should know about to help you make sure that you effectively make your life easier. So make sure you don't miss that episode. That's 14th of April in a couple of weeks' time.
2 weeks.
So 2 weeks' time. So I think with that, I just want to say special thanks again to Devanash and Sarav. Thank you for coming along and sharing your passionate project. Really interesting, really cool. For those watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks.
Thank you so
See you
much.
all.
Bye.
Thanks.
See you later,
Thanks
everyone.
again. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.